Okay. So we're working on question 10. We move the 60 over. We've got a hint of that negative 4 is a 0. Write that down somewhere because you'll have to have it. Talking to my fans.
Okay, I'm like,
okay. You're like, who are you talking to? Yeah. All my peeps. Those are disgusting candies, by the way. I'm like, oh yeah, they are awful, man. Oh no. They're not even good marshmallows.
I don't like marshmallows, but I like peeps. Hate to say it.
Okay. We can't be friends anymore. Okay. 1, -4. What are my next two coefficients? -17 and 60. Okay. You need to practice your synthetic division. What are we supposed to get down here?
0.
Every one of us should be getting a 0 down in that bottom right corner because we know that -4 was told to us. It's a 0. It better be giving us a remainder of 0. Otherwise, number 1, you did something wrong, or number 2, I lied to you. Those are the only two options. I know. No, I wouldn't try, but it could be like a possibility. Okay, all right, work it out. Carry down the 1, multiply and add and multiply and add. It better end up with that 0 at the end. If it doesn't, then you need to double check what you're doing.
1, 8, 15. I'll get it.
Carry down the 1, right? It's below the line, so the 1 goes below the line. We were on MXL, but we were writing stuff down and practicing our synthetic division. Where? Look at number 9.
Okay.
Thank you for asking.
Gotta do this right.
What about your first and second?
First is bad. They're sleeping. Second's freak out.
It sounds
They're
like
not bad.
It sounds like
They're not funny.
Life out. I can't get them to interact.
Let me come and
Have a little bit of fun.
we're running on time.
Yeah.
Have you seen the video of that little boy where he's talking about the virus he gets on his laptop to his mom? And it's definitely not a virus. He's watching a very inappropriate video.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so we showed that to Mr. Mitchell last period.
Oh my goodness.
Mr. Mitchell was dying. I'll show it to you.
Okay. All right. So hopefully you went through the process and this is what you ended up with. Is there any questions? Did you not end up with any part of this, or you have a question of how I got any of those numbers? All we're doing is the process of multiplying, writing it down here, and then adding down the column, and then repeating over and over till we get to the end. Question is, what did we just find? If this is the remainder, what's the next one over? That's the constant. What's the next one after that? That's the linear term. What's the next one after the linear term? The quadratic term. Now, remember, you told me that factoring is another word for division. What is the 0 that comes from -4? X plus 4. So we just divided it in these two pieces. Question is, can we divide it anymore? So, oops, sorry, don't move it around like that. So we lock that in place, and now we're seeing if we can split this up. Go. Find the two remaining factors.
What plus what?
Multiply together.
Oh, yeah.
X plus 5. No, X minus 5. X minus 2.
So, according,
Are you free?
I just saw he's sitting here, and he's like, what are they talking? Did you say it loud enough though? Say it loud. Say it loud as people are homeless.
Okay, what did you guys decide?
X minus 5, X minus 3.
X minus 5, X minus 3. Okay, now, you have enough information to answer the question. The question is, the real solutions are. Please write down, how many are there? There are three answers that you should have on that answer blank. Write them down.
Yeah, like a baseball. A whole softball.
Which one of those equal to 0? Oh, sorry, I was up here. I was looking down here and I was like, okay, gotcha. Perfect.
You're dark and strong. You are dark and strong. Dark and strong. With the word. Why did you take that? Bro, because
I broke it off.
is it dry? I don't know.
I broke it off before I did it.
Oh, wait, what?
I broke it off before I did it.
So this isn't even like touched your saliva?
No, you're talking about the other one.
Like he reaches in the violet and sees it.
Okay,
I found the papers.
okay.
Next moment we
After class. Okay, I need to know the three solutions.
-5, -3, and 4.
-5, no.
-5 is not
-4. If you don't have -4 and I gave it to
I
you,
wrote that.
I will be mad. Okay? Okay, now you should have the remaining two are 5 and 3. If you don't know, set the factors equal to 0 and solve just like we've done a million times. Okay? Now, question 11, we're going to practice our synthetic division, but in a little bit I'm going to show you why synthetic division is useless and not needed for this question. All right, so we're going to practice our synthetic division just so we're practicing, but then I'm going to show you that you wouldn't have really needed that in this question, and there's a very specific reason why. So the hint was 4. It's already set equal to 0, so I can go straight to my synthetic division. Okay? So the hint's 4. What are my coefficients? 1, -5, 4. Now you said something interesting. No, Miss Krieger. Okay. She said at the end 0. Now, I'm going to do that. I'm going to put it down there, and I know it's not going to make a difference when we get to the end. Everybody in the room knows we're going to get a 0 down there. But the reason I'm doing it is to show you the placeholders, because I'm afraid if you didn't, you might get the wrong answer. So, carry down the 1, right? When I multiply these together, what do I get?
4.
4. When I add down the column, what do I get? Okay, then I multiply and I get,
-4.
and then I add, and then I multiply, and I end up with my 0. Now, the reason I have it written like this, with the extra 0 column in, I need to understand what this is. See, everybody in the room should already know that that's x minus 4 from the 0 that I gave you. The question is, what is this part that I just found? Well, if this thing's the remainder on the right side, then that makes the next one the constant, right?
Yes.
So what's after that? The linear term. And what's the next one over on the far left?
Quadratic.
The quadratic. Now, oh my goodness, seriously, this is my video for crying out loud. Okay. I need to know if this thing right here can be factored.
No.
Yeah, what do you think, Mr. Rose? No, good try. Good. No. I think we're overreaching this a little bit. You need to think about a GCF. Is there a greatest common factor? It's X. Thank you very much. Now, good. I'm glad you did. If you pull that X out, what will you be left with? X minus 1. X minus 1. Okay, now, you have enough information to now answer the question. And after we answer this question, I'm going to show you why I didn't need most of that work. Okay?
Can I guess what the answer is?
I have just on your paper. That'd be great. Okay? Okay.
So, first of all, I need to write this down.
Oh, that would be great. I do like how you participate in this. You can't write it down.
So, what do we get? So, what do we store in
So when we get to 14, we will do
No, you said it.
so 4. Good. What about this one over here? Correct. Then that's the one I'm really wondering what kids are going to say. So you're right about the one.
No, that's mine.
Which would cause
You know what's really funny?
if I put a 1 there, this thing would not turn into 0. See, like if I put a 4 right in there, that would cause this parenthesis to become 0. If I put a 1 on here,
What does it
that would
say?
cause this thing to become 0. Like
You always leave it short.
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. I just want to dip out. Oh my god!
Okay, so that's what I was going to think about. Okay, so most of you probably got this one, right? What is that? That's a 4, right? What'd you get for this one over here? 1. My big question is, what did you get for that one?
1. The other one is
The
negative 1.
only number that you could put right here, which would cause this whole thing to become 0, is 0 itself. Now, I'm going to show you the graph of this polynomial so you can see what it looks like, because I need you to make a connection in your mind that these polynomials do, you can see on the graph it crosses through at 0 and at 1 and at 4. So 0, 1, and 4. Okay, now let me show you why we didn't need all that synthetic division. Look at the original problem. Do you see a greatest common factor in the beginning? What is it?
0.
X. If you pulled that X out, what would you be looking at inside there?
X squared minus 5x plus 4.
Now, do you know how to factor this part?
Yes. What plus what gives you 5?
No.
So what would you have factored that into? X minus 1 and X minus 4. Wouldn't it? So, look, we have the answers. There was no reason, and now that only worked because there was a greatest common factor of X that I could pull out. Look on this paper and find another one that looks like number 11.
Number 14.
Number 14. 14 will also not require you to do synthetic division. Which is why, guess what? I never gave you a hint on number 14.
Interesting.
I never gave you a hint because the first thing you're going to do is pull out an X. That's going to be an easy question. In fact, do it right now, number 14. Jump down there, pull out the X.
What was that?
Okay. Yeah, I heard you. Go down to number 14, factor it quickly, and solve it. It won't take you much time now that you know that you don't have to do synthetic division. Yes, only lowercase.
I thought you were going to say yes, no hats. It's like, either way.
Nope. Okay, just like E.E. Cummings, the poet.
Yeah.
No cap. He was a poet that wrote and he never capitalized anything, so it was all lowercase.
But I do that.
So that was his calling card. Was yeah. The number of poets that I remember from high school, not a long list. Okay. Edgar Allan Poe. Yeah. Okay. I just remember E.E. Cummings because I remember the lowercase everything. Whoops. Yeah. Yeah. He doesn't. Yeah. Not even stop signs. You know. What was that?
I'm trying to say, if you want to become like a Harvard graduate, read a little bit. It wouldn't hurt to pick up a book every once in a while.
Okay, so if you pulled out the X, you were left with what? X squared. X squared minus what? 9x plus what? 20. And then you factored it further.
-5, -4.
Thank you. Which means I have what?
0, 4, 5.
Nice. Okay, no synthetic division required.
I like that way.
Okay, now how come on number 14 we can do that trick? Why couldn't we do that with number 10?
Because it wasn't equal to 0.
It wasn't equal to 0. It was equal to -60. So when I brought that 60 over, guess what? No GCF.
Wait, hold on. So when we equal to 0, we can start using GCF?
If they're equal to 0 and the other side has a common factor that you can pull out, then yes. So you will see a test question like this.
Can we see a couple?
No, only one. Okay. All right, number 9. Number 9 has 2 hints. Okay, has 2 hints. Okay, number 9 is right before number 10.
I was like, where is this?
Okay, now we are not going to be working on number 8. Okay, so you can use all the space that's up here for that question. If you still think you need extra space, flip the page over when you do this one. Okay, because I've had some complaints today for lack of space.
So is it a lot of
Well, then flip it over to the other side. Okay. What is she complaining about now?
I scribbled on the back.
Oh my goodness, what is wrong with that child? Okay, first thing I want to do is this. Move that term to the other side. Okay, shh. I need you to focus, guys. All right. That is the one drawback of having a fun class.
I know.
Okay, now, what is noticeably missing in between x to the 4th and -50x squared? What's noticeably missing in there? There's no, so I got to vote for x to the 3rd. Is that what you're going to say? Yeah, there is no cubic term. So now I'm going to write something down here. You don't necessarily need to write this, but I do need you to realize there's a 0x cubed term there, and nobody wrote it down because we don't need to write it down. But you need to know it's there. Okay? Then as we go through the rest of this, what is noticeably missing here? The linear term, right? So we've got a 0x term. So we've got two missing terms. Now, why is that important to me? Because when I go do my synthetic division here in a second, I'm going to have to put in zeros for those missing terms. If you don't, you will lose on this question. And I don't want that to happen. All right, now. We can choose to start with the 7 or the 1. Ms. Fink, it is your choice. It really won't matter to me one bit. You get to pick. Do we want to start with the 7 or the 1? It doesn't matter at all. 1. She decided we're going to start with a 1. Okay, it really doesn't matter, folks, because we're going to use both of them. Okay, so we got a 1. My coefficients are 1, 0, negative 50, 0, and 49. Okay, remember, I had to include the missing ones. If I don't include the missing ones, I will not get the right result. Carry down the 1, take 20 seconds to get that finished, and then we'll move on.
Hold on. I really need.
Hoden. In fact, I'm like an airplane. I'm in a Hoden pattern.
How are we gonna get 1, 150? Hold on, is that 49? No, that's 50 and 1.
Okay, so you multiplied and then you added the 0 and 1. Okay, what's 1 times 1? Put that underneath the negative 50. Okay, do me a favor, make that line go all the way over like mine does, just so you don't make a mistake. Okay, now, what's negative 50 plus 1? Negative 49, good. Now, 1 times negative 49. Put that underneath the next 0. Correct. What's 1 times negative 49? Which is exactly what I want. Oh, you brighten my day. Okay, I'm dead honest with you guys. I'm telling you, almost on a daily basis. It's good. It's
That
good.
means a lot.
It helps me. Okay, hopefully you ended up with something that looked like that. Should end up with a 0 in that far right column. We knew that was going to happen. Now, so Ms. Fink told me to use the 1 first. Now I'm going to use the 7. But folks, I'm not going back to the original. I just keep going.
Wait, hold on. Why is 2 numbers on the end?
So I'm just continuing the synthetic division using the other hint. Go.
Did you have 49 in there? I think I got one. I went down the wrong path.
Yeah.
Write it out, right?
How do I feel about it? I feel like I'm gonna miss it. Part of the reason is exactly. You know, I mean, it is the silence is the hardest part. You know, I'm pretty sure it'll be fine, but it's just like, okay, that's weird.
Okay.
Oh, so you don't need one? Oh, you do. Sir, I wish I had. I think it would have been better for me to have gone into one of either the Army or Air Force National Guard. But I wish I regret it.
I feel bad, but I definitely support everybody that does. Okay. Hopefully you got something that looks like this. Yes.
No.
Yeah, I did see a little bit of one of those on video. Okay, now, the question I have is, what did I find down here? Now, we already know the factor for 1. What's the factor for 1? X minus 1. We already know the factor for 7. What is that?
X minus 7.
Okay, what the heck is this thing over here? That is x squared plus 8x plus 7. Good job. So you've taken the quartic and you broke it down into a cubic, then you broke it down to a quadratic. Can you break that quadratic down further?
Yes.
Do it.
X plus.
Okay. I wonder if he's ever been told or asked, does he have a filter?
No.
You already know the answer to that? Yes. Okay. So,
Okay, so we should have gotten x plus 7 and x plus 1, right? Those are the two things that multiply together to give me 7 but add up to 8. Okay, don't talk over the top of me or thumb war, please. Okay? Now, answer the question. I could be, yes. Answer the question. Sorry, I'm drawing an arrow to the wrong line. Okay. Negative 1, negative 7. Then what?
7, 1.
There you go. Okay, now, last question I have for you. Okay, hopefully, does anybody not understand how we got those 4 answers after we got all the factoring done? Set the factors equal to 0. Well, you should know the 2 because I gave them to you. All right? Would this be an acceptable answer? Yes, I would have taken that too. Okay?